Swamiji. Can you please describe the meditational process? What is it in the beginning and how does it unfold?
Meditation is one of the 5 modes of the mind. Mind has 5 modes. One mode is that the mind can be dull, like when the mind is foggy, when the mind is lethargic. So we may have a dull state of mind. This is one mode. The other mode is when the mind is turbulent and scattered. This is the second mode. The third mode of the mind is called a gathered mind, when we try to gather the mind and to make it one-pointed, and then it gets scattered again, and we again try to gather it, and so on. This is the third mode of the mind. The fourth mode of the mind is when the mind is one-pointed. And the fifth mode of the mind is when the mind does not have any thought waves within it. So the last 2 modes, the mode when the mind is one-pointed and the mode when the mind does not have thought waves within it, these are meditative modes. When we speak about meditation, we speak about the last 2 modes of the mind. So meditation is a natural activity or state of the mind. It's simply natural for the mind. The only thing is we need to reinforce those modes which are natural to the mind. As you know, the physical body has qualities which are natural. We can strengthen those qualities. We can have a strong body. We can have a flexible body. We can have a healthy body. Or we can neglect it. So is with the mind. Mind can be cultivated or the mind can be neglected. So we can have different types of modes in the mind. But in the mind there are 2 modes which are called yoga. The state of the mind when the mind is one-pointed, and the state of the mind when the mind is without thought waves. And these are the modes of meditation. Now, meditation is the way by which the mind can discover the true nature of reality. When we speak about reality, we speak about creation. The mind can discover the true nature of creation. And the other aspect that the mind can discover is the true nature of the self. When the mind has discovered these 2 natures, the true nature of creation and the true nature of the self, from a state of meditation, because meditation is like an instrument by which we can discover these things. When the soul has discovered the true nature of creation and the true nature of the self, the soul has fulfilled its purpose. At that time, the mind itself dissolves and the soul is free. This is what we call freedom. The illusion has been dispelled because the soul has fulfilled its purpose. So clearly meditation is very important in order to dispel the veil of ignorance, the veil of illusion, and to regain our original state as the free soul, the immortal soul that I was speaking about, what we truly are. Therefore, Swami Shivananda says that meditation is like a ladder that leads to the heights of spiritual realization. And since time immemorial, yogis taught the method of meditation. The first step is to purify the heart and to purify the mind. If the mind is not pure, you cannot meditate. You will not be able to achieve that meditation of one-pointedness. For the mind to meditate, the mind needs to be one-pointed, but the thought waves have to be pure thought waves. In order to attain purity, we need to practice karma yoga. Karma yoga is the method by which our heart is purified from selfishness. We become selfless beings. And our mind is purified from dullness, from agitation, and from instability. The mind becomes steady and one-pointed and pure, then we can meditate. This is achieved through karma yoga, through the yoga of action. Then, once this is achieved, we can meditate because meditation is natural to the mind. Once we can meditate, we use meditation in order to discover the true nature of reality. Once we discover it, we are free. So this is the process. And there are two types of meditation. One is meditation on creation. The other is meditation on the self. When we have meditated on creation and on the self and discovered their true nature, we have fulfilled our purpose as a living soul and we are free. So this is what we do in the process of meditation. Now, technically speaking, in India, there are hundreds of thousands of methods and techniques of meditation. And they are all good, but they are like medicines. Meditation is like medicine, and the guru is like a medical doctor. The students are like patients. So we suffer from a spiritual disease, and that spiritual disease is called avidya, spiritual ignorance. We come to the guru, and we ask him to heal this disease because this disease causes suffering. The guru gives us proper medicines which are appropriate for us, gives us a course of treatment, which we call sadhana, spiritual practice. We need to have faith in the guru, which is like a doctor. It's good to have faith in the doctor. It's good to have faith in the medicine. And it's also good to apply the course of treatment, which is the sadhana, under the guidance of the guru until we attain the goal. So there are so many techniques of meditation, so many methods. They are not appropriate for all. A teacher may give to one person one technique of meditation and to another something else according to the person's needs, because the guru is like a doctor in a sense. So we are learning the method of meditation from the guru. We put it into practice, and under the guidance of the guru, we attain our goal. This can take a long time, but nevertheless, yoga is called the short path. It is called the short path because in theory, we can attain self-realization in one lifetime. But the desire for self-realization has to be very powerful. But in principle, it can be done. So this is what we do. Yoga has many fringe benefits. It can heal many diseases. It gives us a wonderful sense of well-being. It makes us peaceful, joyful. Even before we attain the higher spiritual benefits, almost immediately we can feel the benefit of the practices of yoga. So this is the beauty and the power of yoga, because we can feel almost immediately the benefit. We don't have to wait for a very long time. But the purpose of yoga is a spiritual purpose, and to attain that spiritual purpose requires a long process, and we need to learn quite a bit under the guidance of an able teacher. So why do I say all of this? Because, for example, Swamiji taught us a method of meditation. If you look at the book Meditation and Mantras, there is a chapter where Swamiji is teaching the method of meditation. It's an ancient and very potent method of meditation. It's a meditation with a mantra, with a divine name. Very powerful meditation, ancient meditation. So this is the method of meditation that Swamiji gave us. But of course, as I told you, in India, there are so many methods of meditation. They are all good. Different gurus have their own methods how to deal with individual disciples, and so on and so on. Another thing that we need to understand regarding meditation, that the physical body is very important for meditation. In order to meditate, we need to have a very strong physical body. It's like if the physical body is not, when I say strong, don't misunderstand me. It needs to be reasonably healthy. It needs to be physically strong, no doubt. But it also needs to be strong so it can withstand the spiritual practices. And this strength is developed through the practice of yoga asanas, the yogic postures, pranayam, and the pure diet, and so on and so on. We need to develop a strong physical body. If the physical body is not strong enough, the physical body will not be able to withstand the practices. So therefore, first of all, we give attention to the physical body. But we cannot build a strong physical body, and I'm going to say something which may sound to you strange, but it's not strange, without achieving a certain level of perfection in ethics and morals. We cannot do the practices which strengthen the physical body. Therefore, at the foundation of the system of meditation, of yoga, we find the yamas and the niyamas, the ethical teachings, the moral teachings, which we are putting into practice. They are the foundations which allow us to succeed in the higher practices of yoga asanas and pranayama. If you just practice yoga asanas and pranayama without the yamas and the niyamas, you will not be successful from a yogic point of view. But to practice the yamas and the niyamas, it's not difficult. It's just a practice. We practice, and gradually we become better at them. Swami Shivananda explains how to practice them using a spiritual diary. And slowly, slowly, we get better and better at them. And it helps us a lot because through the yamas and the niyamas, through this practice, we remove a lot of obstacles from our path. And this helps us a lot to develop the higher practices like asanas and pranayama, and of course the very high practices like control of the senses and concentration and meditation and very deep meditation, which is called samadhi. So there is a whole structure of practices which are called Ashtanga Yoga, the yoga of 8 limbs, which in fact they are a structure of practices that lead to the ability of meditation. And as I told you before, without practice of karma yoga, of selfless service to our fellow beings, we cannot achieve meditation. It's not possible. And without developing love and devotion, bhakti, we cannot be truly successful in meditation. So therefore, Swami Shivananda says, karma yoga, the yoga of selfless service, leads to bhakti yoga, to the yoga of devotion. Bhakti yoga, the yoga of devotion, the yoga of love, leads to Raja yoga, the yoga of meditation. Raja yoga leads to Jnana yoga, yoga of meditation, leads to the yoga of knowledge. And Jnana yoga leads to moksha, means the yoga of knowledge leads to spiritual liberation. And I explained to you, spiritual liberation is the removal of the primordial ignorance, of the spell of ignorance and illusion, and realization of our true self, of our essential nature. So the method of yoga is very systematic, is well structured. There are very good teachers. There are many masters, like Swami Shivananda, like Swami Vishnudevananda. And we need to follow their guidance properly, and we will be successful, and we will get lots of benefits. So this is the general idea regarding meditation.